between Central and South Augusta. It's a Sunday the 6th of May. Bear in mind in round 3 Central Augusta defeated South Augusta. Central score 23 goals 16. 23-13 defeated South Augusta 17-16. It was a 20-point victory in favour of Central Augusta on that occasion. We're ready for the bounce down in this big return clash at the Central Oval. Down she goes. Toby Bury gets fisted ball, taken by Pat Hines. A quick kick in, back in towards the grandstand centre wing position. John Hogg tagged without possession but uses strength to break away. Onto his right boot, out towards the boundary line on the half-forward line flank for Central Augusta. And the ball goes out of bounds. In fact, it's gone out of bounds on the full, so there'll be a kick in to bring the ball back into play by Mike Kerrin. Back in towards the grandstand centre wing position. A high fly there by Toby Bury, but fisted away by Jeff Page. Ball on play. Neville Newton picks it up well. Onto his right boot, out wide, and finds his captain there, or his coach, in fact, Kenny Mitchell. Perhaps about 55 metres out from goal, or 45-degree angles. Opportunity for Mitchell to post the first score on the board. He chooses to go short, looking for his teammate, over the top of that player's hands, picked up by Feebig, and Feebig clears the ball down towards the grandstand centre wing position. On his own there we find John O'Grady takes a safe chest mark and plays away now, back in towards the centre of the ground. Looks for and finds his brother in Tony O'Grady, takes a safe mark, goes out wide towards the half-forward line for the Bloods and finds his teammate there in Randall Parsons. On the edge of the centre square there, Randall Parsons kicks it high, in towards the forward line for the Bloods. Mitchell from behind. You saw it on your screen. The umpire never saw it. Got Mick Kerrin out the way. Takes the mark overhead. And Kenny Mitchell with his second kick in as many moments. About 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle, lining up with the opportunity for the Bloods' first goal. A kick from Ken Mitchell, umpire indicating. And Ken Mitchell with the first goal on the board this afternoon. Central Augusta won the toss. Captain Johnny Hogg chose to kick to the Hancock's basketball stadium end of the ground, favoured by a very light cross breeze. And in fact, whatever advantage I believe that Central Augusta have with the breeze, they've got the score on the board because their score now is 1 goal. Leading South Augusta yet to score, and there's the bounce down from the centre. Bury versus Page, nullified tap down, flicked forward by Spanner. Desperate battle there between Tony O'Grady and his opposition there in young Chrissy Struck. Blasted forward by the Blood and Tars. We'll pick up that player in just a moment. I think it was Tony O'Grady, or was it Ronnie S. Bain? Magnificent goal from Central Augusta. That's the second on the board, 2 goals, 12 points, leading South Augusta yet to score after about 3 minutes of football in the first quarter. Champagne start by Central Augusta, although there's a long way to go in this game, of course. The bounce down again, no one gets to tap down. Bursting his way through there was Doug Rosie. Jeff Page gets a hand pass forward into the waiting arms of Feebig, who comes down wide looking for Sullivan, taken off hands by Pat Hines. In towards half forward for South Augusta. There'll be a free kick given away there to somebody. It's gone the way of young Kelly there for South Augusta. In towards centre half forward, over the top of the pack, taken away there by Derek Edmead, and goes for holding the ball. Clearing kick by Brandon Collins in towards the centre of the ground, and a towering mark there to Gary Kernahan for South Augusta. Right in the centre of the ground, Gary Kernahan. Beautiful mark. Put the Bulldogs into attack. Down towards centre half forward. Hunched away by the Bloods defenders. Intercepted there by Mike Fuller. Pushing the back in favour of Tony Sullivan. 15-metre penalty goes the way of Sullivan. And he'll take the free kick on the half-forward flank, now advancing down towards the pocket. And will drive South Augusta deep into attack. Here's the kick from Sullivan. In towards full forward. Opportunity there for Ed Mee, but he overran the ball and there'll be a bounce down. 20 metres out from the Bulldogs' goals, almost directly in front. There's the bounce. Jeff Page down to Chris Struck. A snap but beautifully blocked off the boot by Kelvin Blashig. A snap at goal by Grant McCullum, and the Bulldogs' first score on the board. And that snapshot was directly in the teeth of the breeze. Bulldogs 1 point, trailing Central Augusta 2 goals. There's a kick in from Brandon Collins. It's a long kick out towards the half-back line. John O'Grady couldn't quite hold the ball. Attack converges. There'll be a bounce down from the kick in on the half-back flank for Central Augusta. Jeff Page and Toby Bury. Both ruckmen missed the ball. It's taken away by Mike Diorio into the left boot from Diorio. Down towards the half-forward line for Central Augusta. Pulled off the ball without possession is Randall Parsons. In fact, the umpire's gone the other way. We didn't quite pick it up on the camera, and a free kick resulting to the South Augusta defender in Gary Kernahan. His kick up towards the half-forward flank. High fly there from Russell. Brilliant body work from there from Sullivan. Puts the Central Augusta player in young O'Grady to the ground, but he gets the free kick for being tagged without possession, and a free kick to John O'Grady. There's the kick in from O'Grady, down towards the half-forward line for the Bloods. Big pack flies, waiting behind for the crumbs is Dardler, sails a dummy well. His kick is intercepted, but breaking away strongly there is Tony O'Grady. Hand passes forward in the direction of Laurie Thomas. He's hotly collared, picked up by Rod Lamshed that was, and his kick goes straight into the arms of Neville Newton. Neville Newton in towards half-forward for Central Augusta. In front, off the hands, taken by Dardler. Hand passes forward to his teammate there. He snaps at goal. Snaps at goal and snaps it truly does that player for Central Augusta. Pick him up on the camera now as Kenny Mitchell runs across to congratulate him. And that was Ronnie Espane. A good goal to Central Augusta. Ronnie Espane must be resting in the forward pocket or playing up there somewhere. Unusual position for that lad. In fact, it looks like Espane is at full forward and Kenny Mitchell has gone down to the half-forward flank. 3 goals on the board of the Bloods. South Augusta 1 behind. So there's a bounce down once again. Jeff Page gets the push down in the direction of Diorio, taken away by Phillips. Flicks it out, intercepted there by Centrals, but running in there well was Sullivan to get possession of the ball. The pole's in the way, but still the ball comes down now out wide looking for Pasculi, taken away by Mick Diorio, and the free kick going the way this time to Toby Bury. Right in the centre of the ground for South Augusta. Hesitates and now plays on. Kicks in towards half-forward for the Bulldogs. Fisted away by young Martin Nobbs, back in towards the centre of the ground, intercepted by Pat Himes, bodied away by Johnny Hogg, hand pass forward there by Struck. Struck to Edmead, who takes 1 bounce, shoots in towards the goal, slightly offline under pressure is Derek Edmead, and through for a behind. 3 goals, 18 points to Centrals, 2 behinds to South Augusta. The Bulldogs kicking into the teeth of a very light breeze to the highway end of the ground. The kick in from Collins. Out towards centre half back, 3 Central Augusta players there, eludes everybody concerned. Almost got away there did Spanner Sanders, but picked up in the forward area by Mick Corey, put it down towards half-forward flank. Taken off hands by Russell to Edmead, a golden opportunity to Derek Edmead, into the goal square and straight through the centre. So good football from the Bulldogs. Wonderful opportunist young Derek Edmead. And the strong body work and the hand pass from Dennis Russell. So it's South Augusta now 1 goal 2. 8 points, trailing Central Augusta 3 goals. That's 18 points after 10 minutes of play. So it's just 10 points the difference. Ball back in the centre. Great start to this game here. The return match of which Central Augusta defeated South Augusta by 20 points in round number 3. And of course this is a new ball game. Jeff Page again in the direction of Thomas, punched forward by Tony O'Grady, intercepted by Gary Kernahan, got it over the top in the direction of Phoebe, coming through as Pasculi. Phoebe flicks it out in the direction of Kerrin. Central player there and Thomas diving on the ball to retain possession for Central Augusta, and a bounce down on the half-forward right flank for the Bloods. Kernahan flies high, gets it down, taken away by Esbane again. has started this game well, run Espain. Kicks it in towards half forward to nobody in particular. South Augusta teammates run into one another. The ball on the half forward line, there'll be another bounce down on the half forward flank for Central Augusta. Here we go. Kernahan again down to Hines. Hines punches it out to his teammate there in Pasculi. Comes down the centre wing grandstand side. Fisted forward by Daryl Dardler for Centrals. Can't break away. Gets a free kick for in the back, does he, Dardler? Yes. And this time should drive Central Augusta deep into attack. Here's the kick from Dardler. This time he goes short. Brilliantly intercepted there by Michael Corey for the Bulldogs. Put to turf as he kicks the ball. The ball's gone out of bounds in the same area. In fact, it went out of bounds on the full, so a free kick to Espain. Brings Central Augusta in towards half forward. Well fisted away again by Kernahan. Down to Hines. A long hand pass from Hines is shovelled forward there by Craig Cock. When I say shovelled, the umpire picked it up and calls it a throw. So a free kick going the way of Neville Newton for Central Augusta at the true centre half forward position, so he'd be about 45 metres out. Directly in front, kicking with the aid of a very light breeze, Nev Newton. The opportunity for Central Augusta's fourth goal. It's a high screw punt into the goal square area and bounces through for a behind. In fact, it touched the post, so it wasn't as far away from the goal area as I initially thought from Neville Newton. And unlucky for Central Augusta, the ball ricocheted from the goal post and through for a behind. There's a kick in from Vast. Looking for Bury. High fly over the top from Randall Parsons down to Craig Cock into the direction of Pat Hines. Couldn't control the football and out of bounds on the half forward right flank, left flank for Central Augusta. 3 goals won, Central Augusta leading South 1-2. So it's 11 points in favour of the Bloods after about 14 minutes of play. Boundary throw in. Taken away by Gary Kernahan, loses it, comes down to Craig Cock, picked up by Tony O'Grady, who started in magnificent fashion in this game. Over to Nev Newton, shrugs the tackle, shoots at goal, was brilliantly smothered, back into the direction of Neville Newton. Good follow-up football from the little fella, and punches it through for Central Augusta's fourth, and that was a golden opportunity taken there by Neville Newton after his kick was magnificently smothered by the Bulldog defenders. Came back onto the play and punches it through for Central Augusta's fourth goal on the board. 4 goals won, which will be 25 points, leading South Augusta 1-2. After about 14 minutes roughly of play there on the time clock, and a golden start to Central Augusta, although they are favoured by a very light breeze. In fact, the Gene Generation windsock indicating that the breeze is coming from the highway end of the ground directly towards the grandstand. But if the Central Augusta players play it from the scoreboard side of the ground, that's the attacking zone. Likewise, I suppose, for South Augusta. There's a bounce down. It's about the 5th occasion that no one's got to tap the ball from the bounce down. It's taken away by Pasculi. Hand passes over the top to Pat Hines. He's played a lot of this quarter so far on the defensive side of the ground. Down towards John Hogg on McCullum. Punched away by Hogg. Desperation there by Sullivan for South. Couldn't quite pick it up. Likewise, Tony O'Grady. Off the boot of McCullum. The umpire indicating a boundary throw in on the centre wing position, grandstand side of the ground. Looks like Page got a tap to that one in the direction of Tony O'Grady. Gets a shove in the back from Doug Rosie, but gets away with it. Hand passes across to Chris Struck. Struck down towards the half-forward line. In defence, a good mark to Kelvin Blashik. Pulled to the ground, although the umpire says, go back and take your kick, and Kelvin Blashik does just so. And he goes in towards the centre of the ground. A high, wobbly drop punt from Kelvin Blashik. From behind, it's Gary Kernahan. In front, his opposition there in Randall Parsons. And a strong mark to Randall Parsons in the centre of the ground for Central Augusta. There's a kick from Parsons. Down towards half-forward. Strong mark there to the Blood player, not paid. Taken off hands by Kerrin. Taken away from him by Daryl Dardler. Out wide and finds Esbane on his own, about 5 metres away from Robert Feebig. Short kick in towards his teammate there in Neville Newton. Or is it Woody Turner, in fact, who loses the ball to South Augusta, and it'll be Rodney Lambshed to clear the ball away. Goes dangerously across the face of the goal in the direction of Chris Struck. Well intercepted there by the central player Antonio O'Grady. Taken by Kenny Mitchell. Central Augustas lose it to a persistent Chris Struck as he breaks away now on the half-back flank. Comes down, hand passes forward to Pat Hines. The bounce favours Pat Hines, who kicks the ball in the centre of the grandstand wing side. Pick-up play in just a sec, taken by Grant McCullum, kicks South Augusta in towards the half-forward line, and you saw that on your screen, a fabulous mark to Daryl Dardler on the centre wing. There's a kick by Dardler, in towards half-forward. In front we see Dorio. Good recovery from Mick Diorio. Gets around onto his right boot into the open space, goes short, but the ball doesn't quite reach its target. Intercepted brilliantly by Robert Feebig. One bounce, the bounce favours him as it comes back to him. Hand passes forward to Cox. Back to Feebig on the half-forward flank. A chance for Feebig to shoot for goal from a long way out, Robbie Feebig. Gets the distance okay, but through for a behind. So good rebound from Robert Feebig, coming down from the half-back flank to shoot for goal on the half-forward line. So it'll be a kick in now from Brandon Collins from full-back. Bring the ball back into play. A delightful drop punt from Brandon Collins, reaching the half-back area, taken off hands by Nobbs. Hand passes over the top, which is paid by the umpire. Newton kicks it down towards half-forward. In front we see Kernahan and takes the grab. Gary Kernahan, centre half-back, down towards the half-forward left flanks of the Bulldogs. Off hands to Dardler. Taken away now by Spanner Sanders. Onto the left boot, up towards centre half-forward again with a flat drop punt. Randall Parsons trying to flick it back, but it's intercepted by Kernahan. A strong tackle from Parsons. Overran by Mick Diorio. Hand passed out from Sullivan to Hines. Almost taken away from him by Diorio. Hand pass forward to Central Augusta to O'Grady. O'Grady out wide to the moving player there, and John O'Grady. A short pass in towards the full forward line. And we see that player there for Central Augusta. Will pick him up. It's the mercurial Woody Turner. The fine, thin player there, Woody Turner, returning to the league side after a long miss because of work commitments. And Woody Turner with a good opportunity to post Central's fifth goal from the edge of the kick-off line. Shouldn't miss this one, Woody Turner. Kick underway. Doesn't miss it either. Get away from the pole, Woody. There he is. Central Augusta's fifth goal on the board now. 5-goal-1, which is 31 points, leading South Augusta 1-3, which is 9. About 16 minutes of play, perhaps 18 minutes looking at the time clock there, into the first quarter. So back into the centre of the ground. An accurate kicking from Central Augusta. 5 goals from 6 scoring attempts. There's a bounce down. We see Toby Beery's strong body keep the ball in the centre. Jeff Page takes a reflection, can't get the hand pass away, and the umpire will bounce down once again. And the big fella's preparing to battle once again. Jeff Page. There's a bounce down. Beery this time gets a tap beautifully to Struck. Off hands to Dardler. Hand passes backwards to Hogg. Has to run around the other way. Kick it back in towards centre half forward for Central Augusta. Bounces over the top of the heads of Laurie Thomas and Dougie Rosie. Kicked forward there by Robbie Feebig. Picked up and kicked back in towards the half forward right flank by Spanner. The bounce favours South Augusta's Mick Kerrin. A strong tackle as he's dragged to the ground, and a brilliant tackle by Daryl Dardler at centre half forward for Central Augusta against his old side, and will put Central's back into attack. Goes short, looking for Mitchell. Overran by all players concerned except Pasculi. Sells the dummy, hand passes to Chris Struck. He gets around brilliantly. Around one defender, takes a bounce, shows that player a clean pair of heels. Kicks it down towards the half-forward flank, but in the path, in defence, once again is Kelvin Blashick. Kelvin Blashick playing on now, runs in towards the centre of the ground, kicks it down towards the half-forward left flank, fisted away by Hines, hotly pursued by a number of players, the ball to ground and a bounce down on the half-forward left flank for Central Augusta. There's a bounce down again. This time it's Kernahan versus Parsons. I think it was Parsons that got it forward, but kicked away by the Bulldogs defenders. McCullum coming through strongly. He's well tackled there by Central Augusta. Into the arms of Johnny Hogg. Hogg down towards half forward with nobody at home for the Blood and Cars. First to get there is Kerrin, intercepts the ball. Hand passes back to Rosie. Rosie gets a little kick in, coming down the ground again is Mick Kerrin. Overruns the ball, picked up by Tony O'Grady. Hand pass to Esbane, to Diorio, backwards to Spanner. He gets his kick in just in time, puts it towards the full forward line for the Blood and Tars. Waiting for it is Ronnie Esbane, taken away nicely now by Robbie Feebig. Kicks it in towards the centre of the ground. No one's at home for the Bulldogs again. We see Johnny Hogg overrun the ball, doubles back onto it, buffeted out of the way brilliantly by Dennis Russell, and Russell receives a free kick for putting his body in first, getting in front and being tagged without possession. Now Dennis Russell plays on, breaks around towards the half-forward right flank with his kick, looking for his teammate in Edmead. Between Edmead and Martin Nobbs, they force the ball out of bounds in the right forward pocket for South Augusta, and there'll be another boundary throw-in. We've been playing now exactly 20 minutes in the first quarter. The score on the board, Central Augusta 5-1, South Augusta 1 goal 3. From the bounce down, taken by Tony Sullivan. Hand pass there to his teammate in Struck, who got collared, but got the hand pass forward. Can't see because of the pole, but another desperate dive on the ball by Dennis Russell. Jeff Page there contesting with him. Both players keep the ball on the ground. There'll be another bounce down in the right forward pocket for South Augusta. Brilliant opening to this game. There's the bounce down. Page gets the ball down, but struck Groves cleverly. Back to the ruckman, flicked forward. A free kick going the way of Pat Hines for a shove in the back. Perhaps a little bit far out to score against this slight breeze, Paddy Hines. Almost played on, now decides to go back for a shot towards the goal. Would be at least 45, 50 metres out. It's a high kick which will reach the goal square, Pat Hines. A high fly, fisted away by a defender. Into the back pocket, Kelvin Blashik forces the ball out of bounds along the ground, and there'll be a boundary throw in the right forward pocket alongside the behind post for South Augusta. Umpire retrieving the ball. It'll be Jeff Page and Dennis Russell in the forward pocket. Russell up high, flicks it back towards the goal, but it's cleared away by Blashik. Down towards centre half back, Craig Cock and Tony O'Grady. The ball bounces in the favour of Toby Bury, but back into the path of Sanders. And another bounce down at centre half forward for South Augusta. And so far in this term it's been Central Augusta with most of the dominance. Off hands to Pat Hines, a good hand pass forward to Kelly. Kelly in towards the goals for the Bulldogs, almost made the distance, off hands, rushed through for a behind, and another point to South Augusta. They go to 1-4, 10 behinds, trailing Central Augusta, who are 5-1. So it's 6 scoring shots to 5, and yet Central's lead by something like 21 points. From the kick out by Brandon Collins, fisted forward by Naderbaum. First to get there will be the Central Augusta wingman in Spanner Sanders. Breaks back onto his left boot, kicks long in towards half forward. Punched backwards by Rod Lamshed into the direction of Rosie, off the side of that player's boot. Across to the right half, left half forward flank for Central Augusta. Good work there by Sullivan, gets it back to Rosie, followed up play brilliantly. Down towards the centre wing position, a chance for Johnny Hogg to put Centrals back down towards the half forward line. Paul fisted away there by the Bulldogs into the path of Randall Parsons, almost taken by Darryl Dardler. Wait for the umpire's decision. On the half forward flank for the Blood and Tars will be another bounce down. Randall Parsons, Gary Kernahan. Kernahan with the tap. Dougie Rosie tried to dive on the ball. Strong interception there by South Augusta through Mike Corey, I think. Mike Corey down towards the centre wing position. And you saw the desperation from Toby Bury that time. Intercepted by Johnny Hogg. The ball on the ground between Kelvin Blashik and Craig Koch. And there'll be another bounce down right in front of the grandstand, centre wing. And down we go again. It's Page. Gets the flip back. South Augusta force the ball down towards half forward. A kick off the ground by Mike Fuller. Out towards the half forward line. Overran by Laurie Thomas. Good work from Doug Rosie. Keeps possession. Back to Kelly. Kelly gets it onto his right boot. Out towards the half forward right, left flank for South. Russell. McCullum. Running in towards the goals. And the free after disposal goes the way of Grant McCullum. What's going to happen here, because the umpire allowed the player to play on up forward. We saw that player, Ashley Dunkley, we missed it on camera, but Ashley Dunkley took the free kick, he played on and kicked a point. The umpire had already indicated play on, so South Augusta a wasted opportunity on that occasion. That's their 5th point on the board, so it's 5-1 to 1-5, and South Augusta trail by 20 points. From the kick out, strong mark from Derek Edmead at the half forward flank, across to Kelly. This time Kelly shoots it towards goal and through for another behind. We've talked about it before. We've said that South Augusta's ratio is far more points than goals. If it happens in a pressure game, the Bulldogs go down. It's happened so far in the first quarter. 1 goal 6 South Augusta, trail Central's 5-1. There's the kick away, taken by Kim Naderbaum. Out towards the centre wing position, scoreboard side. Dardler flies on his own and takes the mark. And if South Augusta lose this game, they could attribute it to the last couple of minutes with 2 bad misses. There's the kick away. Down towards the half-forward flank, a strong mark in front, Randall Parsons. We're into the time-on period now, 25 minutes of football in the first quarter. And Central Augusta have certainly made use of any breeze advantage which is prevalent here this afternoon. I don't think it's worth 20 points or 19 points that they lead by at the 25-minute mark, and an opportunity here for Parsons to put them further ahead. There's the kick. It's a long kick from Parsons, won't have the accuracy, into the forward pocket, back to the direction of Fiorio, couldn't quite retain possession. But look at the little terrier retain it now as he snaps it back into the goal square. And Laurie Thomas holds the ball aloft in between 2 Bulldog defenders there in Rosie and Feebig. Holds the mark in the kick-off square, does Laurie Thomas. And a magnificent opportunity now for the Blood and Tars' 6th goal. Shouldn't miss this one, Laurie Thomas, but we've said that before. There's the kick. Through the middle. And you can see value for kicks counting in this game already, because Central Augusta 6 goal 1. South Augusta 1 goal 6. It's 25 points in favour of the Blood and Tars at about the 27-minute mark of this first quarter. So South Augusta need to get a goal into this breeze in the first term. And of course Central Augusta would like another one quickly before the siren ends the first quarter. There's a bounce down. Bury and Page. This time it's Page with a left-handed tap. Just about 10-yard kick forward by Craig Cock. A free kick going the way of Dennis Russell. Not quite at centre half forward, still virtually in the centre of the ground. But he'll put South Augusta deep into attack if he chooses to go long. He does so, right down towards centre half forward. High fly from behind, fisted away by Brandon Collins. A free kick will go the way of Johnny Hogg, I think, for being pulled without possession. So from the centre half back position, we'll see John Hogg clear the ball away for Centrals and put them back in towards centre half or around the centre line. The kick away by Hoggy, down towards the centre wing. Can't quite pick up play there. The ball's come down towards the half forward boundary line, picked up and retained into play cleverly by South Augusta. Forward to Grant McCallum. Hits the hand pass over the top in the direction of Pat Hines, who overruns the ball. Cleared away by Jeff Page. Picked up and kicked away now by Brandon Collins into the waiting arms of Dennis Russell. Danger here for Centrals. Russell runs in towards the goals. Off the top of the hands of the Central defender. Into the arms of the South Augusta player there, putting his hand to his head. Couldn't get the breakaway, and there'll be a bounce down right alongside the right goal post for South Augusta. Up they go. Kicked away by Centrals. Out to the half-back line in the direction of Spanner Sanders, who does it brilliantly across to Diorio. Diorio now down towards the centre wing position, into the path of Thomas. Buffeted away nicely by Rosie. Hand passes across to his teammate there, Mike Corey, who gets away with great pace. In towards centre half forward, finds his teammate there and Kelly on his own. And Barry Kelly, about 55 metres out directly in front, will put the Bulldogs deep into attack. It's a long kick right into the goal square, a high fly, fisted away by the central defence. Brandon Collins to John Hogg. Good football from the Blood and Tars in the last line of defence. Hogg right out wide, grandstand centre wing position. The bounce favours Sullivan. Across to Corey. Corey putting South Augusta in with a long run now. Doesn't know whether to hand pass it or kick it. Gets it forward with a hand pass to Struck. Struck goes forward. It's a long floating drop punt. Wait for the umpire's decision and through for another behind. It was a pretty close decision, that one. But still it's South Augusta's 7th behind on the board. 1 goal 7 to the Bulldogs, trailing Central Augusta, who are on 6-1. The kick out wide finds Diorio about 3 metres in front of Craig Cock on that occasion. There's his kick down towards the grandstand, down the scoreboard centre wing position, over the top of the players there. Good recovery from Tony O'Grady. Puts the Blood and Tars in towards half forward with a high kick. Off hands to the central player there in Turner. Missed there by South defenders. Player there for Central Augusta in Randall Parsons dropping the ball, and the free kick will go the way of Mick Kerrin. And he'll bring South Augusta out of defence now. Follows along the scoreboard centre wing position out towards the half-back flank. In front there are Central players ridden to the ground, and it'll be the little rover there in Neville Newton to take the free kick on the half-forward right flank for Central Augusta. Indicating he's going to go long. Goes about half distance in towards half-forward, looking for Mitchell. Mitchell gets the ball away, is well tackled by Toby Bury, and goes for holding the ball. Really had no support coming past. I didn't think then Kenny Mitchell and the free kick to be taken by Bury. Kicks it away, playing down towards the scoreboard side. In front there is Russell, fisted away by Mike Fuller. A pack conversions once again, and there'll be another bounce down almost at centre wing on the scoreboard side of the ground. 6 goal, 1-37 Centrals, 1-7-13 South Augusta. Russell gets the fist forward, taken off hands by Page, kicks it high and long in towards centre half forward, fisted down to the ground. Parsons the first to get there, does it well, gets it across to Newton. If he can pick it up, it'll be danger for the Bulldogs. He can't. A legging decision going the way of Central Augusta by the look of it. You can see the anguish there on Robbie Phoebe as he threw his head back. Central Augusta player there picking himself up wearily off the ground. Looks like it's Tony O'Grady. And O'Grady would only be about 30 metres out. Perhaps a 45-degree angle, but an opportunity to post Central Augusta's 7th goal. And this is a 30-minute mark in the first quarter. Very important kick for Central Augusta to O'Grady. There's a kick underway. The goal umpire sliding across the face of goal and through for a behind. So that's the first wasted opportunity of the Blood and Tars. It's their second behind on the board. 6 goal 2, leading South 1 goal 7. So it'll be vast to kick in for the Bulldogs. Brings them down the grandstand side, half-back flank. Phoebe drops the ball but allowed to get away with it. There's the siren to end the first quarter. And at quarter time we see South Augusta 1-7, 13 points, trailing the Blood and Tars 6-2, 38, and we'll be back for the start of the second term. That's a siren to commence the second quarter. South now kicking to the basketball stadium end of the ground. Taken away by Jeff Page to Dardler. Goes forward to his teammate there in Parsons. Parsons with a high kick up forward almost into the goal square, bounces over the top of all players, taken by Woody Turner, can't get around the defenders, picked up by Murray Bass rather, cleared out towards the half-back flank, almost out of bounds, kept in play brilliantly by Neil Sanders, breaks away back onto his left boot, goes in short towards half forward, flying high there as a pack of players, picked up off hands by Diorio, wheels around onto his right boot, shoots the ball in towards the goal. Oh, that's a good goal to Mike Diorio, a great goal in fact to the little rover. And a good start to the Blood and Tars in the second quarter. We'll pick up Diorio if we can. The ball being relayed back to the centre of the ground. We couldn't find Mike Diorio, he must have hidden then. But a quick goal to the Blood and Tars against the slight breeze and a brilliant start to Central Augusta. They go to 7-2, South Augusta 1-7. The ball back into the centre for the bounce down once again. And Page and Bury, off the back of Bury's head in fact that one. Kick forward by Chris Struck in the path of Pat Hines. Cleverly gets around and hand passes forward to the moving Chris Struck, who goes forward again with a hand pass to Kelly. Good flow from the Bulldogs to Sullivan. A long, high kick in towards the goal from the Bulldog players. And it's been a mark there to Derek Edmead in the left forward pocket. Couldn't quite pick that one up, but Derek Edmead, very acute angle, right alongside the behind post in fact. Derek Edmead lining it up for the Bulldogs. An important kick for Derek Edmead in South Augusta. His kick's gone across the face of the ground. In fact, it's going to be out of bounds on the full, and a free kick to South Augusta. In fact, it's one behind, sorry. So the first score in the second term to the Bulldogs. They go to 1 goal 8, a kick in from Brandon Collins. The umpire's indicated that he went over the kick-off line. That'll be a bounce down, a rather unusual happening these days, a bounce down on the kick-off line for South Augusta. Bad luck that time to Brandon Collins. Sure, he didn't realise that he did that. You could see the look of amazement on his face when he saw the umpire indicating what he had done. Should be a good opportunity for the Bulldogs to at least register a score from the bounce down. Good defensive work by Collins again. Back in the direction of Struck. No clear path there for Struck to get away, or South Augusta to do it clearly. There'll be a bounce down about 30 metres out from the Bulldogs' goals. You see Russell flies high, gets the tap in the direction of Struck. Picks it up cleanly now on the second occasion. Kicks it in towards half forward, and almost a strong mark, or it is a strong mark in fact, being paid to Mick Corey. Only about 30 metres out, almost directly in front, and a chance for South Augusta's second goal. Mike Corey, 30 metres out, and the Bulldogs need this one. There's a kick underway, off the side of the boot. In fact, didn't quite make the distance, but a good mark in the forward line to Ashley Dunkley. Amongst a big pack there. I don't know what's going on there. The kick's gone against South Augusta and goes to Mick Fuller. Oh well, here's a kick from Fuller. High, not very long, out towards the back pocket. Oh, high fly there from Central Augusta. And a brilliant mark to Kim Naderbaum. His kick's also high, out towards the half-back flank. Off hands. Waiting for it was Craig Cock. Chips it forward towards centre-half forward. That South Augusta player runs into the path of the balls, brought to the ground, the umpire indicates I'll have it, and a bounce down at centre-half forward, true centre-half forward position for the Bulldogs. There's a bounce down, tapped away by, looked like Russell. A kick at goal by Chrissy Struck. It'll land in the goal square. From behind, Collins retained possession. Off the ground, picked up by Kelly. Wheels onto his right boot, snaps it towards the goals. Across the face and through for a behind. And South Augusta continue to pile on the points. 1 goal 9, the Bulldogs. Trailing Central Augusta 7-2. So South Augusta with one more scoring shot, and yet they trail by a considerable number of points at this stage. Kick away. Player there for the Blood and Tars flips over. Neil Sanders in front, pushing the ball forward, does it well. Mike Corey with good persistent work there. Taken away by Pasculi. He's caught beautifully by Daryl Dardler and taken to the ground. And that's the third occasion that Daryl Dardler's put hot pressure on the South Augusta players with brilliant tackles, and he'll take a free kick at centre wing for Central Augusta. Dadler plays on now, kicks in towards centre-half forward. From behind Parsons, in front we find Kernahan, and Kernahan paid the good mark there at centre-half back for South Augusta. Kernahan kicks in towards into the centre. No one can mark. I saw Jeff Page looking for the ball, off hands to Struck, breaks away brilliantly onto his left boot, kicks it high in towards centre-half forward, man on man there. We see Naderbond recover brilliantly. Kick it back in towards the centre of the ground, and we'll see a one-on race between Tony O'Grady and Craig Cock. The bounce eludes both of those players, back into the path of Tony O'Grady, kicks it in towards half forward. In front we see Mick Kerrin. Plays on, hand passes to Lamshed. Lamshed out wide to the scoreboard side of the ground. Leading in the race is John O'Grady. Can't pick it up cleanly without being collared by Sullivan. Between the two players they force it out of bounds on the centre wing position in front of the scoreboard. And it'll be Jeff Page and Toby Bury to contest the bounce down. Couldn't see that one. We're taken away by Thomas. Thomas in towards half forward. A short kick in forward and finds Mitchell. Would never quite grab the ball. Hand passes in the direction of Dardler, who wheels onto his right boot, kicks it high in towards the grandstand half forward flank area. Leading in the race for the ball we see Pasculi. Flicks the ball over the boundary line in front of Reggie Reid, and there'll be a bounce down or a boundary throw in on the half forward right flank for Central Augusta, kicking towards the highway end of the ground. There's a throw in, a free kick whistle. Waiting to see who the kick's going to. Looks like Dougie Rosie on the half-back flank. He flicks the ball across to Kernahan. So it's Gary Kernahan on the half-back flank for South Augusta. Kicks him down towards their half-forward line. High fly there from Corey. Taken away cleverly by Diorio. Gets the hand pass back in the direction of Hogg. He's caught and goes for holding the ball. A little bit of shenanigans going on between Hoggy and Big Toby. Free kick going the way of Pasculi. It's a long high kick from Donny Pasculi in towards centre half forward. And the mark going the way of Mick Fuller by the look of it, and did hold that mark. You can see the strong grip he still retained on the ball even though on the ground. Mick Fuller in towards the centre wing position, fisted down by Feebig. Good recovery from Dardler. Backing up nicely there was Pasculi, and him and the other player there, and John O'Grady, forced the ball out of bounds in front of the scoreboard, in front of the grandstand. Boundary throw in from behind Page, down to Thomas. Kick intercepted there by Corey. Hot potato that ball at the moment. Out of bounds again. In front of the coach's box, and there'll be another boundary throw. Here we go, Bury and Page, forced down by Bury. Trying to find the ball. Comes down towards the grandstand side. We saw Neville Newton was felled after play. And Central Augusta quickly play the ball on forward up towards centre half forward. Taken off hands by Dardler, who's set Central Augusta alight on a number of occasions. Out towards the left half forward pocket and finds his teammate there in Ronnie Espain. And he's been a danger up forward this afternoon, has Espain. Espain's kicking towards the forward line. It's a high kick. It's an accurate kick from Ronnie Espain for his third. And he's certainly been a good find up forward and a good move by the Central Augusta coach. And that forward movement there was made by Darryl Dardler. You can see the value of accurate kicking as Central Augusta moved to 8-10, South 1-9, equal number of scoring shots, and yet Central's lead by 35 points at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. There's the bounce down once again. Reggie Reid, oh, well done Reid, but hotly tackled by the Bulldogs. Kick forward there by Feebig, down towards the kick-off line again. Intercepted there by Fuller, across to Diorio. Diorio to Hogg. Hogg forward. Intercepted by the Bloods. Up towards full forward again. Nearly a mark to Mitchell, off hands, taken away by the Kernahan. Forces the ball forward. Intercepted by Mitchell. Hooks the ball back high in towards the pocket. And a free kick going the way of South Augusta to Robbie Feebig. In the back pocket for South Augusta. He'll clear the ball away momentarily again. Feebig down towards centre half back. In the path of McCullum. Takes the mark unattended. McCullum plays on. Kicks it long and wide out towards the half forward flank. Struck. Does it well. Hits the head pass forward to Corey. Runs in on his right boot, Corey. Chips it in short towards the forward pocket over the top of his teammate and Dunkley's head. Taken away there by South Augusta's Edmead. A brilliant tackle by the Central Augusta defender. Sullivan's gone for holding the ball, and it'll be a free kick to Central Augusta and John O'Grady, and clears them away to the half-back flank once again. Out wide in the direction of Page. Good pick-up from the big fella. Good hand pass in the direction of Reid. Hand pass is now back to Naderbaum. Naderbaum down towards the centre wing position. See Kelly get it over to the top. Into the path of McCullum, who does it well. Onto the right boot McCullum, up towards the right forward pocket. In front once again we see Central Augusta, and their defence is holding on firm. Oh well, saw that on the screen. Don't really know what happened, but a free kick going the way to South Augusta. It'll be Derek Edmead, a foolish free kick getting away then by the Blood and Tars. It'll be Edmead with the opportunity from about 40 metres out to put a score on the board for the Bulldogs, and their supporters will be hoping for a goal at this stage. There's a kick from Edmead. It'll land right in the goal square. High fly, fisted away, almost grabbed on the second chance there by a Bulldog player, but it bounced down in the goal square for South Augusta. Umpire clearing the players away to give him room to bounce the ball. There's a bounce down, taken out of the air by the Bulldogs. The umpire free kicking that player. It'll be Dennis Russell. And Dennis Russell from almost the edge of the kick-off line on a 45-degree angle will bring up South Augusta's second goal at about the 12-minute mark of the second quarter. The kick from Russell, straight through the centre.
Gee, you're lucky. You're lucky.
Score on the board, 8-2, 50 points. Central Augusta leading South 2-9, 21. So you can see that South Augusta 11 scoring attempts, South Central's 10, and yet the Blood and Tars lead by 29 points at about the 13-minute mark of the second quarter. Umpire ready to bounce down once again. Bury got the tap down in the path of Hines, and another bounce down in the centre of the ground. Down to Hines. Hines kicks it high over towards the half-forward flank for South Augusta. In front, Harry Naderbaum on the half-back flank for the Bloods. It's kicked down towards the half-forward left flank for Central. High kick. In front there we see O'Grady. And O'Grady's been a good player this afternoon. He just took a mark a few moments ago right in the back pocket, so he's playing all over the ground for the Bloods. Kicks it long in towards half-forward. Over the top of the pack into the path of Mick Fuller, coming down from centre-half back. Couldn't get in open spaces, and at centre half forward there'll be a bounce down for Central Augusta. I presume that Mike Fuller's, he actually has gone onto the ball by the look of it, unless he's followed Dennis Russell right down to centre half forward. The flick forward by Jeff Page, a chance for Mitchell if he can get around. He can't, and he's gone for holding the ball, and a free kick for Robbie Feebig. There's a kick from Feebig out towards the half-back flanks grandstand side of the ground. To Hines, quick kick into Paddy Hines down towards the centre wing, fisted forward by Central Augusta. See the desperation on all players. There'll be a bounce down right in front of the grandstand centre wing. Randall Parsons and Bury to Hogg, high in towards the centre. Oh, great mark there to Sullivan, used his body magically. Got Johnny O'Grady out the way and held the mark. Here's a kick from Tony Sullivan. Out wide towards the scoreboard centre wing position. Craig Cock flips it across brilliantly to Hines. Hines goes short and towards half forward in front. On his own Dunkley. 25 metres out directly in front of goal. And South Augusta starting to put their game together now at about the 15-minute mark of the second quarter. The kick from Dunkley. Oh, across the face of goal. Through for a behind. And that'll be the 10th point on the board to the Bulldogs. 2 goals, 10 South Augusta. Trailing Central's 9-8-2. The kick-off from Collins, favouring the scoreboard side. In front, strong mark to Naderbaum. Not paid by the umpire, and there'll be a bounce down at centre-half back for Central Augusta. 28 points in favour of Centrals at about the 15-minute mark of the second term. From the bounce down, Pat Hines does it well. Nearly got the hand pass out, but set upon by Neville Newton, and another bounce down at centre-half forward for the Bulldogs. There's a bounce down again. Bury rucking throughout most of the afternoon. Pulled off the ball as Centrals, taken by Naderbaum to O'Grady, to John O'Grady. Forward, he's certainly hit a set upon. Got it up forward, but cleared away by the Bulldogs. Back out towards the centre wing position. Overran by Corey, taken by Diorio. To Newton. In towards the centre, goes short, and a brilliant mark to John O'Grady. And his height has certainly bothered Sullivan, although it's been a tremendous view up till this point of the game. Out forward, and he finds his teammate there in Dardler. Dardler goes short, across towards the centre of the ground. Poor fisted away by Feebig. Chance for Page. Page allowed to play on. Feebig back in towards the centre of the ground. Bounces over the top of all players concerned. The umpire's given a free kick to South Augusta, and it'll go to McCullum after he was felled by Johnny Hogg. Good body work. There's a kick up towards centre half forward. Mark paid now. It should have been 2 to Russell. Plays on quickly. Short. Finds Chrissy Struck. And South Augusta starting to look a bit dangerous now, although they haven't kicked straight. And there's the kick from Chris Struck. It's a long screw punt which will land in the goal area. Off the top of the pack, touched. And through for a behind. And like I said, 2 goals 11. South Augusta trailing the Blood and Tars 8 goals 2. From the kick in, Brandon Collins to bring the ball back into play. It's a long drop punt out towards centre half back. In front, and the mark will go the Bulldogs' way for sure. To Bury. A lion-hearted performance again from Toby Bury. Not a very good kick, but it finds the target, and it finds Dennis Russell in front of Mike Fuller on that occasion. And Russell kicked one from here a few moments ago. 45-degree angle. Kick underway. Through the middle. And so far, Dennis Russell, 2 goals on the board. South Augusta's third. 3-11. Which will be 29 points to Central's 8-2. That's a 21-point lead in favour of Centrals at about the 18-minute mark of the second quarter. And the ball back in the centre for another bounce down. And South Augusta put their right kicking boot on. The way they're playing, they'll bounce back into this game. There's the bounce down. Johnny O'Grady, taken away by Mike Corey, out wide to Sullivan. Sullivan goes down towards the half-forward right flank for the Bulldogs, fisted away by Central Augusta. Chance for Hines, around the neck, Pat Hines, and a free kick to the South Augusta captain on the half-forward right flank. Quickly plays on in towards centre half-forward, fisted away by Fuller into the path of young Phillips on the ground. Intercepted by a Bulldog player there, flung off the ball is Barry Kelly, but not before the umpire had blown his whistle for another bounce down. Off the top of the pack, a snap at goal. Wait on the decision. I reckon that was Ed Mead in the kick-off area. Forced his way through the pack. And a quick goal to South Augusta. That was a brilliant performance from young Ed Mead to get out of that pack, force the ball through accurately, and South Augusta's fourth on the board. 4-11 to 8-2, making the difference to 17 points, I think it may be. 15 points, in fact, in favour of Central Augusta at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter. Another bounce down. South getting the run on, but this time it's taken and cleared away by Tony O'Grady. Out towards the half-forward right flank, and a strong mark in defence from Doug Rosie. Plays on now and goes out wide towards his half-forward line. In front is Hines, but over the top to Naderbaum. Naderbaum's high kick in towards the centre of the ground. We see Kerrin in front. Taken away by Rosie. Puts South back in towards the half-forward flank. Strong mark, Johnny Hogg in defence. In front of Grant McCullum. There's a kick from Hogg in towards the centre. In defence we see Gary Kerningham. Not in defence, in the centre of the ground. In fact, kicks it down towards centre half forward for the Bulldogs. Good fist away by Mike Fuller. Comes to John Hogg. He'll go for holding the ball. Done the twist and turn, but couldn't get past the path of players and goes for holding the ball, and the free kick will go the way of Craig Cock. He comes out wide to Chris Struck. He flicks it back over the top cleverly to Phillips on his left boot. Oh, brilliantly intercepted there by the Blood and Tars. Taken away by Neil Sanders, and good defence from the Bloods. Kick doesn't favour O'Grady. Into the arms of Kerrin. Gets around, back onto his right boot, in towards centre half forward. The high kick, and you see the high fly from Michael Corey at centre half forward. And South Augusta certainly getting their game on the flow in the last 10 minutes. And Corey now, centre half forward, about 30 metres out, almost straight in front. There's a kick underway from Mike Corey. Swinging across the face of goal, slightly through. And a behind to South Augusta. A bit of a let-off once again to the Blood and Tars. And the score on the board sees South 4-12, Central's 8-2. There's a kick from Brown and Collins. Out towards the half-back flank. One arm to the ball is Mike Fuller. Flicked back by Pat Hines to Russell. Out wide short to Kelly. And a strong mark to Barry Kelly in the right forward pocket. And him being a left footer is on his right kicking leg. Shouldn't have any trouble at all with distance. It's a matter of accuracy required now from young Kelly. Kick underway. Umpire getting across the game, but indicates a goal. And there the South supporters go wild. And South right back into this game. It's their 5th goal on the board, 5-12. It's been a strong second quarter from the Bulldogs. Been playing 24 minutes now in this term. The Bulldogs have kicked 4 goals. Central Augusta 2. And the score on the board, 8-2 to 5-12. Back into the centre. Jeff Page and Bury uses brute strength to force it forward, but intercepted by John O'Grady. Up towards centre half forward. Mitchell to Turner, runs in towards the goals. Woody Turner, slightly offline to the little fella, and through for a behind. And when Central Augusta's needed a retaliating goal, this occasion they're offline and let South Augusta off the hook. So it'll be vast to kick in for the Bulldogs. Going to favour, or looks like favouring the this side of the ground, but chooses quickly to go the other way. 2 players to 1. We find Parsons dropping the mark. John O'Grady ridden to the ground. Well followed up there by the Bulldog defenders. This time Struck gets it out to himself as he follows up play brilliantly. He'll go for holding the ball, and that's what I dislike about this decision, because that player did all the hard work to get that football. The other player sweated off on him, and when he got it, he dragged him to the ground and takes a free kick for holding the ball. That was good anticipation from the Bulldogs. Up forward again, Russell to Dardler, taken away this time by, once again, Naderbaum to Sanders, into the centre of the ground, looking for Naderbaum, but fisted away brilliantly by Kerrin. A one-on-one between Kerrin and Spain, and there'll be a bounce down right in the centre of the ground once again. Into the time on period, second quarter. This time it's Page, down to Reggie Reid, out wide with a nice hand pass to Sanders, kicks it up forward, out wide to the half-forward right flank, looking for his teammate there and finds Espain. Espain with a quick kick in forward to Turner, loses the ball, does Woody Turner, chips it in high towards the goal and out of bounds on the full. There'll be a boundary throw-in, I think, on the right forward pocket for Centrals. About 26 minutes of play in the second quarter. Central's badly needing a goal now to resurge ascendancy. And from the boundary throw-in, there'll be a bounce down in the right forward pocket for the Blood and Tars. Just 9 points of difference at this stage. There's a bounce down, fisted away by Kernahan, out into the open to the left forward pocket for the Blood and Tars. First to get there is Reggie Reid. There's danger on now for South. Kick back in high to Reid. Looking for Mitchell. Good defence by South. Cleared away now well by Bobby Feebig. Kicks it out high and wide towards the grandstand side, and a good mark running backwards to Neil Sanders. Plays on now and gets in on his left boot. Goes in short, looking for his teammate. Fisted away there by Kernahan. Well done, Randall Parsons, to force the ball forward in the direction of Espain. And out of bounds. Saw it on your screen. Had nowhere to go, Ronnie Espain, once he got possession. There'll be a boundary throw-in on the right half forward flank for Centrals. There's the throwdown. Taken away by Struck. Down towards the grandstand centre wing position. Taken away by Neil Sanders. Kick back in towards the half-forward left flank, Neil Sanders. Neville Newton waiting there for the crumbs. Chris Struck in fighting hard, hotly tackled by Neville Newton. And there'll be a bounce down right in front of the grandstand at centre wing. At 27 minutes gone in the second quarter, the flick away by South Augusta. Still there in the centre, picked up brilliantly and swinging around under the hand pass. Intercepted now by Neil Sanders. He's tackled. Mick Kerrin. Oh, this is a great game of football. Out towards half-forward left. On his own, finds his teammate. Great play from Kerrin. Mick Corey in towards the goal. Pick it up. Well, I'll tell you what, that goal there was so brilliant that we couldn't follow it on the camera around the boundary line because Mick Kerrin did magical things to get the ball out loose. His kick was superb into the direction of Mick Corey, all on his own. Corey ran onto his left boot, in towards the goal, with a pack of players converging in the goal area, with the ball floated through for a magnificent on-the-run goal from Mick Corey off the left boot, and that's South Augusta's 6th goal on the board, 6-12-48, trailing Central's 8-3-51. And it's just 3 points of difference, almost half-time at Port Augusta, and there's a bounce down once again with Bury winning it out wide to Sullivan, but robbed of the ball by Neville Newton. Will drive Centrals in towards centre-half forward, but the kick intercepted brilliantly there by Kernahan, who's done well at centre-half back for the Bulldogs this afternoon. There's a kick out wide, finds Kelly, one bounce to the little rover, sidesteps beautifully and gets back onto his left boot, comes in short to centre-half forward, a brilliant pass to Grant McCullum, and Bulldogs are light now in the second quarter. There's a kick from McCullum, in long towards full forward, fisted away nicely by Fuller, into the path of O'Grady. He does it well, but loses the ball to the pack of players, and there'll be a bounce down at centre-half forward for South Augusta, have been superb in the second quarter after Central's got away to a big lead at quarter time with the aid of the light breeze, and now South Augusta coming back strongly. There's a bounce down again. Taken away by Michael Fuller with his left foot out towards a vacant centre wing position. First to get there in the race of the ball is Hines, wheels around onto his right boot, hand passes forward but over the top of his teammate into the path of Diorio. Diorio with the left boot out wide to the scoreboard centre wing half forward area for Centrals. Esbane waits for the ball to bounce to him, wait for the umpire's decision, and it'll be a boundary throw up half forward left flank for Central Augusta. And Bury still on the ball, gets it down in the path of Lambshed, but well roved from Woody Turner this time. Turner's kicking towards half forward for Centrals, and a good mark in defence, using his body beautifully, Dougie Rosen. Goes short, across to the half-back flank, finds his teammate there in Lambshed. And Lambshed down along the scoreboard side. In front. O'Grady as the siren sounds to bring up half-time. And a great second quarter from Centrals. Still inaccurate kicking though, from the Bulldogs rather. With inaccurate kicking they creep within 3 points. So it's 8-3-51 to Centrals, 6-12-48 to South. And we should be in for a crackerjack last half until the second half gets underway. We'll come back at the start of the third quarter. Three-quarter time score. We had a technical fault. We didn't record the third quarter, I'm afraid, but it's half-time. South Augusta trailed by 3 points. At three-quarter time they lead by 14 points. It was a magnificent third quarter by South Augusta, and they were led by their strong centre-half forward Dennis Russell, and also Chris Struck put in a magnificent third term, and the Bulldogs in particular all over the ground that quarter played brilliantly, and they lead by 14 points at three-quarter time. They're almost in readiness for the final quarter. There's the siren. Central Augusta kicking to the highway into the ground. South Augusta kicking to the basketball stadium end. The Gene Generation windsock indicating a light breeze favouring South Augusta toward the basketball stadium end of the ground. Kicked in right down towards the forward pocket by the Bulldogs. Cleared away by South Augusta again. A shot at goal by Bulldogs. Sailing straight through the centre. Not quite sure who that player was. I reckon it was Tony Sullivan. And a quick start. And South Augusta have commenced the final quarter the way they left off in the third term, and the way they played halfway through the second quarter. There's a bounce down again. It's Bury fisting the ball forward to Cock. Mary. Pack of players flicked out by South Augusta, back to Bury. Bury towards centre half forward. Pack of players on the ball. John Hogg bursting his way through, is pulled off the ball without possession and takes a free kick at centre half back for Central Augusta. So Hogg comes out wide to the grandstand side of the ground. From behind we see Naderbaum. At this stage, South Augusta with a 20-point lead. Naderbaum towards half-forward right for the Bloods, off the top of the pack. The free kick going the way of McCullum from the half-back flank for the Bulldogs. Plays on quickly, kicks it in towards the centre of the ground. You see Chris Struck. Nowhere to go, gets a quick kick in towards the half-forward right flank and rolls out of bounds. In fact, the ball's not far away from the scoreboard. Centre wing position. Fury flicks it back. Thomas takes it away towards the scoreboard centre wing position. Overran the ball, Ashley Dunkley. And just as Diorio was to break away from the pack, the umpire signals up for a bounce down right in front of the scoreboard at centre wing. Final quarter, 2 minutes of play. South Augusta with 1 goal on the board in this term from Sullivan. Free kick going the way of Laurie Thomas. And he'll put Central Augusta back into attack. Thomas. Long and high towards half forward. In front and a good grab there to Mick Fuller. Central Augusta need goals badly in this term now. Of course, they're 20 points down. And kick from Mick Fuller. Low and high, long in towards full forward. Off the top of the pack and through for behind. If the Blood and Tars were going to get back in the game in this final quarter, they really needed a goal on that occasion. Still with the ball up forward, it'll be Vast to bring it back into play. Out towards half-back left, Murray Vast. A good kick in front, Pat Hines. And he also put in a brilliant third term for the Bulldogs. Down towards half-forward left for South. In front we see Saunders. Lost possession of the ball, loses it to his own teammate, to Tony O'Grady. Goes out wide and finds Naderbaum on half-forward right. Hand passes to O'Grady, has to break his way past Hines. In doing so, loses possession of the ball to Struck, who kicks it high towards half-forward for Central Augusta. All players lose the flight of the ball, but taken off hands by Rosie. Gets a left-hand pass forward brilliantly to Craig Cock. On the run, Craig Cock down towards half-forward left and finds his teammate with a brilliant pass to Sullivan. Sullivan towards centre-half forward, high kick. In front, Corey, but taken away strongly by Neil Sanders. Down in towards the centre of the ground. In front we see Mick Fuller. Kicks the ball along the ground, looking for his teammate there. Robbed of the ball is Central Augusta. No one can pick it up. Flicked out by Reggie Reid. Taken away by the Bulldogs through Ed Mead. Back in towards the centre of the ground, taken by Laurie Thomas. Laurie Thomas plays on. Kicks Central's in towards half-forward right from behind. No one can mark it. Mick Kerrin pushes the ball over the line. There'll be a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Central Augusta. Randall Parsons, Toby Mick Kerrin, but Gary Kernahan from behind pushes the ball forward, taken by Diorio. Gets the hand pass back in the direction of Kenny Mitchell. Loses control and out of bounds in the right forward pocket for the Bloods once again for another boundary throw up. Kerrin fists it down. Struck kicks it off the ground. Down towards Ed Mead, who gets it on forward to Russell. One bounce from Russell. He breaks in towards the half-forward line. Hand passes forward to Kelly. To Sullivan. To Kelly again, in towards the open goal and straight through the middle. South Augusta playing brilliant football. Running away with this game. And they raced to 13 goals, 15, 93, Central Augusta 10-8, 68. That's 25 points in favour of the Bulldogs. We've been playing about 8 minutes in the final term. So South Augusta looked like converting a loss in the third round to Central Augusta into a victory here this afternoon. From the bounce down, and another one. Page up high, gets the tap down. Craig Cock. McCullum up forward, half forward right, left for South Augusta. Kelly gets a brilliant hand pass back to Sullivan. In towards half forward. High fly. Push forward to Feebig. A snap for goal from Feebig. Offline through for behind again. But South Augusta certainly running hot. Looks like Brandon Collins to bring the ball back into play for Central Augusta. Back out towards the half-back flank. Over the top Edmead, but a free kick going the way of Naderborn. We're in the back. And a kick from Naderborn. Down the grandstand side, centre wing. On his own, Grant McCullum, but a free kick going the way of Central Augusta to Dardler. Another shove in the back. And Dardler goes in towards half-forward right. Force out Central Augusta. Twisted away, down along the grandstand centre wing position. Picked up by Paddy Hines. Loses the ball to Chris Struck. He gets it out nicely back to Paddy Hines. Runs in towards the half-forward flank. Bounce doesn't favour Robbie Feebig. It favours Neil Sanders. Picks it up nicely on the run. Gets the hand pass forward in the direction of Baker. A free kick behind the play going the way of Central Augusta to Sanders. And breaks back in towards centre half back. Bounce doesn't favour anybody. Intercepted by Russell. Ridden to the ground and takes a free kick in the half-forward left flank for the Bulldogs. Plays on. Hand pass in the direction of Struck. On the run. Towards the goal and straight through the middle. And so from a 3-point deficit at half-time, South Augusta. They're led by 14 points at three-quarter time. And coming home with a wet sail. They lead 14 goals 16. The umpire hasn't put that, the attendant hasn't put that on the board yet. 14 goals 16, 100 points to South Augusta, leading Central 10-8, 68. So it's 40 points, 32 points in favour of the Bulldogs. There's a bounce down, favours Bury on the run, pushes it forward to Dunkley, intercepted by Baker. He's kicked back in towards half forward and it's marked by Craig Cock. Plays on quickly across to Lambshed. Lambshed out wide to Phillips. Slips but gets back under his left boot. Wheels around. Kicks it in high towards centre half forward. Oh, strong mark, Derek Edmead. Brilliant mark, in fact, at centre half forward for the Bulldogs, and that's been typical of their play since halfway through the second quarter. His kick falls short, taken by Sanders, back in towards the centre, and taken by Grant McCullum, right in the centre of the ground. And South Augusta dominating this game since about halfway through the second quarter. His kick out wide to the half-forward right flank, taken by Reggie Reid, loses it to that player there for the Bulldogs, and there'll be a bounce down the half-forward right flank for South Augusta. Russell to Reid. Well done, Kernahan. To Rosie. Goes short, looking for his teammate there, overrun. South Augusta back into the fray, taken away by Edmead. In high towards centre half forward, fisted away by Centrals, and the mark being paid to Johnny Hogg. And the half-back left flank for the Blood and Tars. There's a kick from Hogg in towards the centre of the ground, or the centre square anyway. Fisted forward, taken by Phillips. Running in towards the goal. It's a long kick from Paul Phillips, bouncing truly, and cuts through for a behind. The South race to 14-17, 101. Centrals 10-8, 68. From the kick-off, taken there by Naderborn. Out towards the half-back flank, a good mark to Diorio. To Reid, up towards half-forward and finds his teammate there in Thomas. Almost about to play on Laurie Thomas, but now kicks in towards centre half-forward. Kick falling short. Good work there from the Blood and Tars to get it out, but well fought by the Bulldogs defenders to retain possession by Craig Cock There'll be another bounce down the half-forward left flank for Central Augusta. 33-point margin in favour of the Bulldogs. About 12 minutes into the final quarter. Rodney Lamshed, good hand pass forward in the direction of Phillips. Plenty of pace from that young lad up towards half-forward for South. Good mark to Baker. Plays on, puts Centrals back in towards their half-forward line. Overran, taken by Thomas again, kicked in high towards full forward. Oh, John O'Grady slips over at the vital stage, taken away by Vast. Down towards the grandstand side, taken by Derek Edmead, playing well, hand passes across. Rosie, in towards centre half forward, a long kick. Strong mark in defence to Baker, to Blashik rather. Now goes out to the centre half back position and finds Naderbaum to Hogg. Kick along the ground finds Reid. Reid in towards centre half forward to Parsons, who's been pretty quiet this afternoon. He's kicking towards full forward, nobody at home. And in front, Kernahan, strong pair of hands on the last line of defence. That's Kernahan. Back towards centre half back. And we find Ronnie Espain in the way. Putting Centrals back into attack again. A very high drop punt. Over the top of the pack. First to get there will be Kernahan again. Fists it away. Player there, Craig Cock. Tag without possession. Takes a free kick in the back pocket. Free kick down the way of Paul Phillips. That's Phillips. Then along the scoreboard side of the ground. Strong mark there to Russell once again. In the centre of the ground, scoreboard side, Russell goes out towards half forward. Edmead forces it across to Phoebe. Well pressured by Brandon Collins, but gets it back to Corey. The hand pass forward, well intercepted by the Bloods there to Blashik, nowhere to go. Hand passed out, taken by Hogg. To Naderbaum into the centre. Finds Reid. Breaks away on his own, Reggie Reid, up towards half forward again. In the path of Dardler. And a free kick to Darryl Dardler. The desperation dying out of this game because the Bulldogs lead by 33 points, almost halfway through the final quarter. A kick in high from Dardler. Brought to ground by Jeff Page. Taken by Parsons. Hand pass back to Johnny O'Grady in towards full forward. Fisted away by Vast again. First to get there will be Tony O'Grady. Hand passes across to Mick Fuller. Back in towards the forward area line again. Vast in front. Fiorio. Thomas to Reid. A snapshot at goal from Reggie Reid across the face of the goal and through for behind. And Central's doing it the hard way. They can't get an easy path to goal because South Augusta have been on top virtually from the halfway mark of the second quarter. A brilliant third quarter and finishing it off here in the final term, the Bulldogs. Fast. In front we find Corey to Lamshed. And finds his teammate Craig Cock. Hand passes over the top to Phillips. It's a double back to pick up the ball and does it well. Onto the left boot up towards centre half forward. In front we see Baker and paid the mark. That's Baker into the centre. Edmead in front. And a brilliant mark to Derek Edmead. Took the front position and used it well. There's Dunkley. Gets around cleverly. It's a high kick that doesn't go very far in towards centre half forward. Baker in front again, but loses the ball down to Phillips to McCullum. Overruns the ball again. Another bounce down on the half forward right flank for South Augusta. Fuller gets a tap down. to Collins. High fly, native arm. To Esbane. Goes short and towards centre half forward. Fisted away from Bath. Into the back of Mitchell and a free kick to Ken Mitchell. And the half forward right flank for Central Augusta. Long way out from goal. Drives it in towards full forward. Over the top. Flicked out by South Augusta to Thomas. A snap for goal from Thomas across the face. Hits the boundary post. Point post. So there'll be a boundary thrown in the left forward pocket for Central Augusta. (14-17) South, 101 points. Central's 10-9-69, so it's 32 points in favour of the Bulldogs. And the throw in, a kick off the ground by John O'Grady. The ball rolls across the face of goal on the other side and through for another boundary throw in. Chance for Mitchell, can't burst his way through the strong defensive barrier there from South Augusta, and a bounce down in the forward pocket, same location. 18 minutes into the final quarter, so South Augusta have done it well. Lead by 32 points, and the bounce down. Kicked along the ground and out of bounds, and so the ball, a bottleneck stalemate in this forward pocket the last couple of minutes. There'll be another boundary throw in. Over the top of the big ruckman, a free kick going the way of South Augusta. Going the way of Mick Kerrin. Didn't pick up what for, but still the Bulldogs to relieve once again from the back lines. In fact, it was Gary Kernahan out towards the half-back flank. Corey in front, but from behind a strong mark to Mike Fuller. Fuller towards the forward pocket for South Augusta for Centrals. The mark going the way of Jeffrey Page, right behind the pole. Shouldn't have any problem with distance, Jeff Page. 45-degree angle with his left boot. And desperate need for goal, Central Augusta. Kick underway from Jeffrey Page. So straight through the middle. Good goal, but a little bit too late, I feel, because that reduces the margin to 26 points. We've had 19 minutes of play in the final quarter. We see Central Augusta 11-9, 69, which will be 75 in fact, trailing South 14-17, 101. 20 minutes of play, the ball back to the centre. There's a bounce down. Punch forward by McCullum. Picked up by Baker. Out wide to Sanders. Native arm. Hand pass to Esbane. One bounce. Loses the bounce. And it goes out of bounds right here in front of the grandstand, centre wing position. Nobody can get the ball out. Another bounce down right in front of the grandstand. High kick from Dardler up and down the same position. Nobody can force it away. It's out loose to McCullum. And he goes for a free kick to Grant McCullum. Kick away from McCullum and out towards the half-forward right flank. Fisted away by Blashik, with the free kick going the way of Phillips. Hand passes across to Kerrin. Scrambly football at this stage. Back to Kerrin. Slips. Pulled away from the ball and goes for holding the ball. Free kick to Laurie Thomas. Drives Central Augusta towards centre half forward. Strong mark to Jeff Page, although he shoved out his opponent. And the free kick will go the way of Gary Kernahan. Kernaghan's kick across the face of the ground towards the centre wing position, over the top of Chrissy Struck, taken away by South Augusta again, and rolls out of bounds in front of the grandstand centre wing. Another boundary throw in, right in front of the grandstand. In the favour of Derek Edmead, out wide towards the half-forward line, fisted away, picked up by Baker. Baker back in towards the centre of the ground, looking for Naderbaum. First to get there is that player. Wheels back with the hand pass across to Reg Reid. Reg Reid up towards the half-forward line for Central. Fisted forward, but intercepted there by Vast, taken off hands by Parsons, wheels around, gets caught, hand pass just in time to Dardler, kicks in quickly and tips the ball into Kenny Mitchell about 20 metres out directly in front of goal. It was too late for the Blood and Tars. They trail by 26 points. We've been playing about 21 and a half minutes into the final quarter. Ken Mitchell, kick underway. And a belated goal to the Blood and Tars that reduces the margin to 20 points. (11-9), 12-9 South Central Augusta, 12-9 75 South 4-17 101, 12-9 81. So it's 20 points in favour of the Bulldogs. About 22 minutes into this final quarter. He bounced down once again. Kicked forward by Reg Reid. Parsons knocks it forward. In fact, he takes the mark. Lost the ball there at one stage, but Randall Parsons retains the grab. Kicks Central's in long and high towards full forward. Oh, and the ball lands into the arms of Kenny Mitchell. And the Bulldogs going to sleep momentarily. This kick could reduce the deficit to about 14 points. The time running out for the Blood and Tars. Couldn't see him getting out of this one, but you never know. Kenny Mitchell. Kick underway. Straight through the centre again. And Central Augusta showing some semblance of a fighting side. I feel it's a little bit late because we're playing almost time on period. 25 minutes almost in this final quarter. 14-17 101 to 13-9 87. 14 points in favour of Centrals, of South. He's back into the centre once again for a bounce down. Bury fists it forward, intercepted by Baker. Kick up forward, taken by Kerrin, pushes it forward. Being pursued there by Centrals and goes for holding the ball as Mike Kerrin. And Randall Parsons has set Central Augusta alight in the dying stages of this game. Been pretty quiet all afternoon, but played pretty well in the last 10 minutes. Kicking forward, high flying in front, strong mark on the last line of defence for Gary Kernaghan. About 25 metres out from goal, Bulldogs. Comes out wide to Pat Hines. A high fly over the top, Randall Parsons takes the mark on the second grab and should put Centrals deep into the throat of goals. Here's the kick, high in towards full forward. No one can mark it. Chance for Reggie Reid. Bulldogs coming through strongly. The ball to ground and a bounce down about 30 metres out directly in front of Central's goals. 14 points the difference. 25 and a half minutes gone in this final quarter. Reggie Reid gets the hand pass back out into the open to Tony O'Grady. A quick kick forward is smothered by the Bulldogs. Taken away by Pat Hines. A saving hand pass out wide to Landshed. Long low kick out towards the centre wing position from Landshed, over the top of the player's head there, picked up by Centrals. Hand pass straight to Craig Cock, straight back to John Hogg. Out wide to Naderbaum, who comes down along the forward flank and finds his teammate in Thomas. sidles around, the hand pass is intercepted by South Augusta. Back in the direction of Parsons. Tony O'Grady comes in short and towards half forward, finds his teammate there in Esbane. A little bit far out to score on Esbane. 50 metres out. The long high kick in towards the kick-off line. From behind Page, in front Kernahan, down to ground. Chance for the Oreo. Flips it across to Reggie Reid. His shot in towards the goal goes wide. Bounces across the line. And the boundary's thrown in the right forward pocket. And I tell you what, the last 5 minutes, Central Augusta have had all the opportunities to get back into this game. They trail by 14 points. Page the tap down into the pack of players. Flicked out by Reid. Strong body work going on. A snapshot for the goal from Reggie Reid. In towards the full forward line. A chance for Mitchell. He can't get around. Does so under his left boot. Kicks it back into Page. A chance for Dardler. Just desperation plus in this final quarter. It's been tremendous pressure football. And even though South Augusta virtually have the game wrapped up, no one's giving in out there. It's been tremendous pressure football. And from the ball being kicked out of bounds on the full, it's brought back into play by the Bulldogs, out towards the half-back flank. About 28 minutes of play gone in this final quarter. Shouldn't be much longer to go. A chance for South Augusta to clear it through Kerrin. Gets the hand pass nicely across to Pat Hines. Out wide down along the scoreboard side of the ground. A high fly from Baker. Bounces into the favour of Centrals. Punches it forward. And the ball retrieved and skittled along the ground by the Bulldogs into the path of Johnny Hogg. Gets around onto his right boot. Comes out back into the centre of the ground. Finds Esbane. We can't find him though. Esbane in towards centre half forward. A chance for Dadler if he can pick it up. Does so and gets collared. Strong tackle from Dougie Rosie. Gets the hand pass out wide and a race for the ball for two players there. First to get there is Diorio. Traps the ball brilliantly. Set upon by all the players there. And there'll be a bounce down at centre wing. And that was Central Augusta's last attacking chance to get back into this game. They trail by 14 points. We're playing about 29 minutes into the final quarter. Lighting very poor here. From the bounce down, pushed away by South Augusta. Coming through strongly the Bulldogs now, but the ball comes out wide to Baker. He goes out towards centre half forward, finds Naderbaum. The hand pass across to Mike Fuller. Fuller in short across to the half forward flank. Finds his teammate in John O'Grady. Comes in short across towards half forward, towards Dardler. Dardler in towards the open goal. Punches it forward and through the middle to reduce the margin to 8 points, and there's the siren. And that was a brilliant last quarter of football. We see the score on the board, the final score being placed on the board. 14 goals, 9, 97 points. 14-9, 93. South Augusta 14-17, 101. That's an 8-point victory to South Augusta in a brilliant exhibition of football here at Port Augusta.